I saw that there was some drama going on with Felipe Hemming. Apparently, he doesn't like that an auditor, one of the auditors, has a criminal background that he doesn't like. And I don't really like drama. But in looking at this, I did become a little bit interested. He does like to give legal advice. He kind of holds himself out as though he knows what he's talking about. Quite honestly, I don't think he does. He says that there is a difference between an attorney and a lawyer. And if you go to California's website, you have attorney search, lawyer referral service. They're interchangeable. They are literally interchangeable. So I don't know what he's talking about. He is in California. His wife or sister, I'm not sure which, is an attorney or lawyer, interchangeable, in California. So I don't know if it's throughout the USA. Everywhere I've gone, I've seen it used interchangeably. So, but with a solid start like that, you could see why I was looking somewhat critically at some of the things he was saying. And I don't really want to go beat for beat. I mean, he drones on for 2 hours. But it did get me looking, and so I found this article from the Daily Banter. This gal was wanting to sue the Daily Banter. But then the phone rang later that night from California number, and it took a complete different turn. So she got she looked for a California lawyer. He got a voicemail from somebody. The voicemail read, "Good evening. I'm trying to get a hold of Benjamin Cohen of the Daily Banter. My name is Felipe Hemming of the Hemming Law Firm in Huntington Beach, California," said the message. That is interesting. I mean, just in and of itself, you can't really say that that's indicative of anything. But a reasonable person seeing Hemming Law Firm and seeing Felipe Hemming is going to put it together that Felipe Hemming is the Hemming of Hemming Law Firm. And Philippe doesn't do anything to dispel that notion. So he didn't respond to the voicemail, and then he gets this contact on Facebook Messenger. "Mr. Cohen, I would like to speak with you at your earliest convenience regarding the Daily Banter. 949-903-7650. 949-903-7650. 949-903-7650. That is the phone number to the Hemming firm, to this lawyer. That's this lawyer, Krista Renee Hemming. Blah, blah, blah. And then there's an email from Krista Hemming from the Hemming firm, not the Hemming Law Firm, the Hemming firm. A law firm in California is an association of two or more lawyers. You got to have two or more lawyers to form a law firm. You can't do it by yourself. That's why this would be the Hemming firm, because she is the sole owner and sole attorney for it. Greetings. I'm attempting to contact you as the owner of the Daily Beast in order to resolve an issue with you individually without creating an issue for your media outlet as well as your hosting company, GoDaddy. Please contact me for further details so we could find a way to work this out. Many thanks, Felipe Hemming, the Hemming Law Firm." Again, he doesn't say that he's not an attorney, and that's interesting. That to me is interesting. He goes on. This journalist goes on to say, "Real lawyers don't call people they're trying to sue late at night to have a quick chat. Generally speaking, that would not happen. Don't try to contact them through social media. Generally speaking, that wouldn't happen. Use a Gmail account when sending an official email." Well, believe it or not, that happens. This is High Desert Community Watch's case. This is the attorney always has to put their contact information up there. And yep, she uses the Hemming firm at gmail.com. She uses the Hemming firm at gmail.com. And other lawyers do very similar things. Here's Carissa Hemming, gmail.com. Here is Michael Hemming, HemmingLIPC at gmail.com. It's pretty consistent. It's pretty usual. So yeah, their HemmingFirm.com isn't available. It's pretty hinky. And then there's another letter again from Felipe Hemming coming from the Hemming firm at gmail.com, not saying that he is not an attorney and basically threatening to sue for damages and costs, etc. So I found that to be very interesting. And then I found this. I did archive it, so he can't delete it. He is Felipe Hemming. He says, I'm also part of the Hemming law firm, which is interesting. Again, he's not saying that he's, well, first of all, he's saying it's a law firm, and it's not. But he's holding himself out to be, you know, a law firm is an association of lawyers. And he says he's a part of the Hemming firm, a law firm, which raises eyebrows. He says, where we provide legal and investigatory services to those in need. He shouldn't be providing legal services. We serve the people who need representation the most. Is he providing representation? That's a little sketchy. That is a little bit sketchy. So yeah, this 888-571-5535. Here's the Hemming Firm's Facebook page. It's 888-571-5535. The only person who is, the person who owns this page is Krista Hemming. You can't see it on here because I'm not signed into anything. But she's the only person who is authorized to manage this page. And so he apparently has access to it, and he apparently has access to her email, and he's holding himself out to be, I don't know. Anyway, in California, there are some pretty detailed rules of professional conduct for lawyers, you know, about the unauthorized practice of law, about assisting, soliciting, or inducing violations of these rules, financial arrangements among lawyers, or there's financial arrangements among non-lawyers, which is not good. Yeah, and confidentiality of clients, that's a big one. It depends on his, like, why he has access to her email. That's kind of weird, because she will be getting, like, if she's using this as her, like, this is what the judge would send things to, or opposing counsel would send things to, the Hemming firm. So if she's using this on all the cases that she's currently prosecuting or defending against, yeah, I mean, all of her clients' information would be available. That might not be good. There's a lot of legislation in California as well about attorneys and the practice of law, and it is a misdemeanor for a non-attorney to hold themselves out as practicing or entitled to practice law or otherwise practicing law. It is a misdemeanor. I'm not saying he's done it, but I'm saying that it's something to look at. He is not. This is the search for Hemming. He is not a California attorney, nor has he ever been. If ever you are wondering if the person that you're talking to is allowed to give legal advice, allowed to represent you in California, you can always go search for it, California State Bar. If their status is active, then they're allowed to represent you. If they're inactive, resigned, or deceased, obviously, they wouldn't be allowed to represent you. There's a few other ones where they're licensed in other jurisdictions and they're just allowed to practice in California for like a specific case. Like if their client retained them in another state and they're getting sued in California, then sometimes they can get permission from the court to practice for that specific case in California. But basically what you're looking for is active. Their status has to be active. If you ever have an issue with a lawyer or with somebody practicing law, the State Bar does have an attorney complaint form. You can also use this if they're not an attorney, if somebody's holding themselves out as an attorney, or if they're giving legal advice, then you could still do this. This is a great way to get somebody to make sure that how you were handled was ethical and appropriate. So that is available for you on their California State Bar website. And if you know, if you're aware of somebody who's practicing law without a license, I mean, if you're actually aware of it, you know, there are laws against it. So, you know, don't be afraid to. The number one goal of, statutorily speaking, the number one goal of the California State Bar is the protection of the public. That's the highest priority for the California State Bar. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I'll leave links to everything in the description. And have a great day. Happy auditing.